Welcome to this demonstration of the batch production capabilities within the TotalBatch SuiteApp. I'm going to start today's demonstration by creating a batch production order. Once the screen comes up, I just need to select which item it is that I want to produce. And today I'm going to be roasting some single origin coffee from Ethiopia. Once I've selected the assembly, all of the relevant information is going to fill in, including standard batch sizes and the number of production orders that are going to be combined into that batch. In this case, we're going to make roasting 500 pounds in a single production order. This is compatible with both forward and backwards scheduling, and I can provide start dates so I can have inter-day scheduling within that. All of my bill of materials will automatically source in based on what's been selected. Once that production order has saved, any production related tasks will automatically be created and can be accessed on the related records screen. So completely capable and compatible with all of the NetSuite scheduling and calendaring functions. And these tasks can be not only each of the different steps within the production, but also things like cleaning tanks and scheduling quality control or lab tests to go along with that to make sure everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing when a production order has been released. Now, once that's been created, my next step is going to be to actually create the batch. Here, I can provide this a specific batch name. So if you want to use any naming conventions, this is completely compatible with that. And I have the ability to go and reschedule in case I want more than one production order or want to change the quantities. And I also have the ability to schedule any of the different tanks or pieces of equipment that are going to be utilized for this particular, at least the next step. Once that's been created, I can select the individual lots that I want to utilize for this by utilizing my FEFO selector. And that will bring up all of my different lot numbered items on the production order. And in this case, there's a single one for single origin coffee beans from Ethiopia, which I need 600 pounds worth. And the system's automatically going to select the appropriate lots. And in this particular case, it's going to pull the remaining 300 lots from the first expiring lot, and then it's going to pull the next 300 from that next lot. You do have the ability to change and modify as necessary, but if you're utilizing first expiring, first out, this is usually a confirmation step. Once those have selected, I can print the individual bill of materials for picking. And as you can see on this bill of materials, it is lot specific, saying that for lot 345654, utilize 300 pounds, and then for the 655 lot, the additional 300 pounds. Now back in our production order, we're ready for production. Our lots have automatically been set, and now we can issue the actual components that are going to be utilized in this first production order of the batch. Once I click the button, everything fills out for me. It knows exactly which operations from my routing I'm completing, and I can issue out the components. Going to the batch record, I now can complete all production orders that are included in that batch with a single button. In this case, there's only one. I can also collect any byproducts that are related to that particular batch. In this case, I'm going to complete my batch. And here I can select the date that we're finishing this batch, which particular vessel or a piece of equipment we are going to finish this to. And in this case, I'm going to put this into a vessel or a tank that already has some of that same item in my single origin Ethiopian roasted coffee. And it's automatically going to give me a note here that I'm going to be blending two different batches, which will actually create a third batch that constitutes whatever the weighted average of what was in that vessel at the time. I'm also going to provide the final transfer volume or quantity that I'm completing here. So this is what I set out to complete, but let's say I only got 490 pounds out. I would enter that here, and then I can choose to how I want naming conventions to happen on that resulting batch. My batch is now complete. I have the ability to check all of my insights, which will include my general ledger for all of the various transactions that make up this batch, including all production order issuances, production order completions, and assembly builds. In this particular case, there's a total of $14,382.47 included in this combined batch, with a resulting cost per unit of $7.26. My batch disposition is now blank because we have not utilized any bit of this batch yet. But I do have the full ability to trace back all of the various lineage of this batch, which my batch 137 is made up of 75.25% of batch 134 and batch 136, which is the one we just produced. And if we want any of the details behind any of these batches, we can simply drill into them. And similarly, we can check the insights where I can see exactly what this batch was composed of, including my 490 pounds of single origin coffee at 661. That was my final one, but here's my 600 pounds overall for $3,000, and I've got some overhead and some labor associated with this as well. Also, I can trace exactly where that batch has gone, that I utilize this through a complete batch, and 490 of that was utilized.